Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition here of the Kung Fu Cup, the KFC week number 9, 2026. I'm of course your VIP with him, joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chat as well. Welcome, one all. Bienvenidos this lovely Friday evening as we have returned here with a night of Kung Fu Cup StarCraft. For those who are curious, this is a weekly tournament organized and hosted by SC Boy. Bearing in mind as well that this is not on the PTR. I believe they do plan on hosting PTR events in the future. When that occurs, we shall see. For now, though, it is going to be on the base live version of the game. And we're going to be jumping into our semifinals. Or semifinales, papi. Taking a break from the Water TV Mondays as we did cover them 2 days in a row, and we'll be covering more Water TV Monday action tomorrow as well. Again, we are catching up. We're catching up with the backlog of replays, I should say, as well. But now, though, we're going to be jumping into our fresh series, Best of 3 ZVT. Going to be jumping into Cure versus Solar. That's going to be our first semifinals match. Bearing in mind, this will be followed by Clem versus SHIN, another TVZ. Non-stop TVZs here tonight. So let's go. Let's jump into those semis. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player himself, the South Korean Zerg. It is a Solar. Let's go. Let us go. Let's jump on in as Kira does open up on the low ground, going for the initial 2-rack Reaper opener. I'm assuming 2-rack Reaper, but we have been seeing Kira mix in 2-racks openers into Marine, into No Scout, into a 2-1-1, or even into 3-racks follow-ups. Kira, he has been a little more diverse as of late when it comes to his builds of choice, so we'll keep an eye on whether or not he takes his gases. And there it is, gas is being taken, so it should be Reaper. There are variations where Kira does go gas less. Not this time, though. So it does take his gases. Meanwhile, across the map, we do have a standard opening here by Solo going for his own hatch gas pool. Standard opener going to be settling into his own side of the map. And welcome to Ruby Rock. Welcome. Again, one of the smaller maps in the map pool, aggression here is typically favored, and we do see Solo going for a delayed gas, guys. So hatch pool opener into a later gas. It is very common nowadays to see roach-based play when it comes to ZVT, especially from the Korean side of things. So think of Solar, think of SHIN, think of Rogue. They often don't just go roaches, but they often play 2-base, and they go for a very late third expansion. That has been the trend as of late, going to 2-base roach or 2-base lair. What we have been mixing in is 2-base muter as well, which is a viable option when you go 2-base lair, but on a smaller map like Ruby Rock, it feels very difficult to get away with. So I'm going to be leaning away from 2-base muter and leaning more towards 2-base roach, but we'll keep it on our players. I should also emphasize that 2-base Hydra is also a build that has been mixed in from players like SHIN and Solar specifically. Meanwhile, it is 2-rack Reaper. 2-rack Reaper is on the way. The Overlord does confirm, and it's going to be to Solar to keep up with the Reapers and to defend back at home with said Queens and with said early Link production. So aggression is coming out across the map. Here we go. So we are going to be moving out. Back at home, still droning, still building up our queens. The first Reaper has arrived, and it's going to be on this Reaper to try to pick away the Lings, maybe get a drone kill as well. Drone should not be going down. Oh, as we get one Zergling already. Yeah, nice catch by Cure. Already a good start. Does catch a Zergling. Does pivot away. There is no third expansion. As we tried to emphasize at the beginning, this is a 2-base opener out of Solar. This is why we were bringing up 2-base Roach or 2-base Lair or 2-base Spire, as Solar is stuck on 2 bases. Behind this, going for the factory follow-up, so it is going to be a 2-on-1 variation. There we go, 2-on-1, third CC before Starport. Greedy build here by Cure. It's being more economic. And the Reapers, they make their way in. They make their way to the main base. They do catch a couple of extra Zerglings here. No drones going down yet. Oh, we do get a Reaper. Not bad. Not a bad catch out of Solar. Does catch one of the Reapers and should soon be looking to expand and claim a third. Another Zergling goes down. Jesus. Another Zergling. 4 Links so far for 1 Reaper. And Curie's just chilling, getting into his own mid-game. Bearing in mind, this will hit a later stim timing because Starport is delayed. So this does hit around 6, if not 6:30. So it's going to be a later timing here out of Cure. Meanwhile, Solar back at home, we've yet to determine his tech of choice here. He did play 2-base. He's pulling into his gases, whether it's going to be a Roach one or a Lair. Show us what you got. Show us what you got. I feel like at this point it should be a Roach Warren by now. I mean, if it was going to be Lair, I feel like we could have even delayed Link Speed and... Oh. He canceled Link... Okay. I was going to say that it doesn't make sense to get Link Speed if we're going into the Lair, but he canceled Link Speed and he does begin the Lair, so let's go. It's going to be 2 base Lair. We have the Roach Warren on the way as well. Now, just because you see a Roach Warren doesn't mean it's going to be Roach Tech, but actually the Roach Warren is hidden behind the natural, so it looks like a hidden Roach Warren into an early Roach push. This can lead into a 2 base Roach all-in. So we'll see if Solo joins up his 3rd base or not. We'll see how hard Solo does commit. Again, this Roach aggression can hit very hard on Ruby Rock. This is one of those maps where this can excel. Reaper is going to be deflected. A +1 Carapace is going to be on the way. Catching out another Reaper. Not bad. Another Reaper gets caught. Now, if this were to be committed play with Roaches, I would give the advantage to Cure just because he's opening up not with Medivacs. He's going for a 362-on-1 Banshee opener. Very cheeky play here by Cure. This is often done by players like Beyond and Maru. They're very fond of mixing in Banshees with this kind of build. It typically does catch Zerg players off guard. Why is that? Well, when you see a 2-Rax opener with Stim on the way, you expect a prioritization of Medivacs. You're not typically ready for Banshees of all things. And the Banshees revealed. And again, that would be ideal against Roaches. That's just free damage. Cure still goes for the early move out though. Okay, this is like a Beyond-esque push. Stim is done. 0 Medivacs, by the way. Every Stim will hurt that much more. So we gotta be careful with how and when we Stim. We don't want to waste the Stim. Don't want to waste it. Cure, he does pull away. He does back up. Banshee to the main base. Spore thankfully is in position. Solo, he will defend the main. Behind this Solo, he's droning. He's droning up his 3rd base. He's not going for an all-in. He did build up some Roach Ravager, but he's still droning amidst all of this. So just playing it safe. From here, Cure is now securing his own 3rd base, getting into his own tank production. His first wave of Medivacs have finally arrived, catching an Overlord. Supply blocking Solar even. Oof. And Solo is going to move out, but we'll see what he can get done here. The army rotates. Yeah, the army rotates down to the 3rd. Ooh, does get caught mid-pickup. Okay, Solo moving in. Can he get within range of the tank? He cannot. Files a crazy army. Banshee is back at home to defend, and the Roaches are forced back. This does delay some mining at least, but only delay some mining. No major damage. That was close, though. That was close. Behind this, we have the Infestation, but this will be for safety infestors, in towards Hive Tech, in towards Ultras. That is the go-to here in the current meta, is to open up Roach into Ultra Tech. Link Speed is on the way, Hive is on the way. This should lead into +1 melee with the Sagniva Chamber and into the Ultra Cavern. That's going to be a big power spike for Solar, but what I will say is that there is going to be a window of opportunity where Solar is going to be vulnerable to an attack, to a move out, but that's where the Infestors come into play. What we have seen in recent times is that it is difficult for Terran players to punish the Zerg when they attempt to go into Hive like this, as they have their safety Roach Ravager, and they typically have their safety Infestors. Typically. Behind this, Cure is building up. Again, at this point, Cure, he has the stronger economy. Gets a Ravager as well. Let's trade out a couple of Marines. Ravager does get caught. As I mentioned, there's that melee upgrade. Again, this is a sign of Ultra Tech. I mean, the Infestation was a sign of Ultra Tech. I'm a little bit surprised that we did not actually get a safety Infestor. It can be quite risky to skip them. Can be risky. It's greedy, pack. But thankfully for Solar, Cure isn't pushing, right? He's harassing with the Banshee, he's harassing with these 2 Medivacs, but he's keeping the army back at home. So there's no need for something like Infestors and Pungal Growth. As there's that Ultra Cavern, Solar, he's almost there. As I mentioned, that's going to be a big power spike, is those Hive Tech Ultras with the Hive upgrades as well. It's coming. And it will be hitting before there are ghosts ready. That's why it's a big power spike. It's typically before the tech is really there for the Terran. And we have been expecting more damage from Cure, and he hasn't really achieved much. He finally does deny a base, at least. He's being somewhat active, but not much damage. And based on our setup here, it looks like Cure just wants to receive. It looks like Curie's just going to build up his tank count into Liberators as well before Ghosts. Set up his Woloffs here at his third, set up a Woloff at the fourth base, and just turtle up. It can be difficult for Ultras to break this kind of position, but that's where the Vipers come into play. And there are already Vipers. We already have 2. The Vipers are out. With the help of Blinding Clouds, they can break through. Likewise, drop Lords on the way, so we can go for some multi-prong aggression. We can go for the main push on the front lines, then drop into the main base, or we can even just go for an Ultra Doom drop into the main as well. We'll see. Cure pushes? I mean, this is pre-kindness plating. That is true. Like, the Ultras aren't ready yet. So he does start to move out. I think main... Ooh, doesn't quite engage. But again, there's a very slim window here for Cure if he wants to try to break through before the Ultras. This is going to be quite close. It's going to be close. It's going to be clutch. Tanks are on siege. Ultras are revealed. As Cure does make his way towards the 5th. Oh. And Bailey's a roll off a creep. Show some mind shots. Nice one in the clouds on the tanks. Mind shots that don't connect. And with that, we break through. Yeah, we break through. Every tank is going to go down. Cure, he will lose the entire... There were no splits. No split. No solo stepping. Takes the Bailey's to the face. And with that solo, he's done it. His Noble's out of control. He breaks the main army. Pushes towards the 4th base. And there's nothing to defend. Ay. Again, Cure chose to be active. I thought it was going to turtle up. But no, he chose to move out across the map. He gets punished for it. He will lose everything. Losing another tank. Thankfully for Cure, he's distracting Sola's army. And Sola does not keep pushing. Doesn't quite have enough. Not yet. So the game will continue. But that was a rough start for Cure. More Ultras popping out. How many Ultras do we have? 4, so it'll be 6? No, just 4. So 4 Ultralisks. Now, there's no pressure on Solar. The reality. I mean, sure, we have the drop on the top side. There's some pressure going on, but Solar, he's free to just move out. Cure, he needs to keep pushing. He needs to distract Solar, as Cure cannot defend this position. Cure is forced to respond. Ultras, they break through. Yeah, they break on through. The tank does go down. We bust the mineral line. Ay. Felt like this. Takes the Bailey to the face. 20 ACV kills. I mean, as we mentioned, like, a lot of this just came down to that initial fight. Came down to the fight here outside of the 5th base. Job does deny a base. Denies the 6th. But Curie's fighting for his 4th. Like, he's... Ay. Now, he's working towards a fusion core into Liberator production. That will help eventually, but it still takes quite some time to get into that kind of tech, into that kind of switch. And now we have Infestors on the way. Spire is done for eventual Corruptors and Broodlords if need be. Nice kiting here out of Cure. Nice kiting. And there is a world where Cure can maybe catch Solar off guard and out of position. Here, for example, hey, denies another base. Here, again, there's no defensive setup here with tanks or Widowmines or SimCity. Mass Powerbomb on the Metamax. Ultras, they commit in. Oh, Mass Fungal as well. Oh my god. The Fungal connects. And Banelings as well. And with that, the Planetary falls. This position has been broken. We expected this position to be broken early, if you recall. But Solar, he just played it safe. Pulled away. Built up his army. And with that, that's 15 SCV kills. Ay. Curious, struggling to hold on, Pappy. Struggling. He's still distracting with the double drop, though. True. He's like, doing what he can. So he collapses on the remaining army. Catching at reinforcements. Some piles here on the Liberator. Oh, doesn't quite bring it down. He's holding his own. He's holding his own. Solar's trickling in. Gotta just calm down. Calm down, Pappy, calm down. Now we just back off, remax, rebuild, and go for the kill. As the army's just it's been getting weaker and weaker here over time for Cure. It's been getting weaker, getting smaller. So collapse in. As we collapse in, we have a couple of fresh fungals available as well. Fungal lands, breaking through the main army. And again, this should just be the final stand here for Cure. As there's not much left, he's got a couple of medevacs, no more liberators. Ultras, they have no support, so eventually they will go down. True. But Solar, he gets a planetary. He gets it back. Night stream's killing my streak. Oh no. Yeah, we're gonna have streams for the people, papi. For the other half of the world. Share, my papi, share. We appreciate it, we appreciate it. As with that Solar just moving in once again, collapsing on whatever is left. Now he has anti-air, he's got a Corruptors, he can hunt down the Medevacs as well, so less efficiency here for Cure. He's splitting his heart out. I mean, that was impressive. The way he split up his Marauders was crazy. Doesn't matter, but it was impressive. And from here, there's no need to tech up, right? Like, we don't need to work towards, like, a Greater Spire or Brood Lords. Like, we just commit here with whatever we want. More lanes on the way. Have our anti-air. We just be coping a little bit, papi. True. Un poquito. As the Swarm has arrived, and this time, finally, Solar, he can seal the deal. The army's just heavily overstimmed. There are no more medevacs, so again, there's no more efficiency, no more sustainability. Cannot sustain. GG gets called, and Solar, he takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Solar does claim lead in the series. Again, Cure, he was surprisingly passive here in game 1. We spoke earlier how he went for a 362 on 1, which does go for a later timing. That is true. But even when he was starting to be active with his medevacs, he was very, very passive. He was nibbling away at the edges, of course, of the creep. Wasn't really threatening any main bases or any economy or any mineral lines. Likewise, the Banshee was more defensive as well. It's understandable because of the map itself, but it did mean that Solar was safe to just turtle up, you know, build up to 4 and then 5 bases with his roaches, and then snowball out of control with his ultras. We saw that Cure, the one time he started to be active was after the fact, when the hive was done and when ultras were already in production. That's the moment where he decided to move out with his tanks, but it was too little too late for that. And he got caught unsieged, and the moment that fight went awry, that was game. That was the deciding factor then and there. Because Cure was so passive, I just assumed he was just going to turtle up and just be hyper defensive, but he did move out, but that was his downfall at that point. Like, at that point, it was just too late. At that point, ultras were already out, and Solar, he was already maxed. It's already maxed out. GG, well played. With that, we're going to be loading into game 2, going to be loading into the Old Republic. Let us go. As we jump into our ZVT. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Blue Terran representing Team Liquid, leading the series 1-0. It is Cure. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Red Zerg player, the Red Zerg player himself. It is Solar. Fixing up the scores. There we go. As he is leading 1-0, and welcome to the Old Republic, a much larger map this time. Larger map, longer rush distance by ground. It does have an open 3rd and 4th base, that is true, but because this map is larger, this is where we do expect to see, we don't really expect to see as much roach play, instead Ling Bane. We expect Ling Bane and maybe even 2-base Lair and 2-base Muta as well. We spoke about this at the start of game 1, how 2-base Muta was unlikely on Ruby Rock, just because the map is so small and it's so much easier for the Terran player to punish the Zerg, but on these larger maps, that's where Muta play is a lot more viable, as you have a lot more breathing room as a Zerg player to be able to buy time, catch reinforcements moving out across the map, delay the push, and make use of your Mutas with a lot more room to breathe and room to work with. For now though, hatch gas full, standard opener this time. So standard opener, higher chance we go into Ling Bane in towards a standard mid game as well, which means we could even just see Ling Bane Hydra. True. So Hydra on Solar, lower chance now that we see Roach play. Not impossible, just lower chance. Likewise, Cure going for a standard opener himself. At game 1 he went for 2-Rax Reaper, this time Rax Expand. So our players do adjust as we get into the Old Republic. Now, I would say that on this map, the pressure is on the Terran player to be aggressive. This is a better map for Zerg, especially coming into the mid to late game. The reasoning for this is because of how open the 3rd and 4th base are. These two bases, whether it's the low ground 4th base or the linear 4th base, are very open, they're very exposed, they're a lot more spread out, and they can be very difficult to defend, as opposed to a map like Winter Madness or Celestial Enclave, where it's a little bit easier to turtle up on. Here, the bases are more open, more exposed, and we've seen many a player, both Terran and Protoss, struggle and fail to be defensive and to be turtly and to try to maintain these bases. Typically, the best way to deal with that is to have a good offense instead and force the Zerg player to be more defensive and force a little more chaos in the mid game instead, and not just allow the Zerg player to build up. So eyes are going to be on Cure. We'll see how aggressive he plans on being here. Behind this, 3rd CC before Starport, so standard economic opener out of Cure, most likely into Banshee play, but we'll see. We shall see. Especially if he doesn't believe that there's going to be roaches here, then there's more value in skipping the Banshee and going into, say, a vanilla Banshee or into Liberators. Hydra on our Terran. So now the Reaper is going to be deflected, joining up back at home, and we will soon get into our tech of choice, whether it's going to be double Evo Chamber, whether it's going to be Bailey Nest, or Lair. We're leaning more towards Lair here, but eyes are on Solar. He may choose to be greedy. Meanwhile, we have our answer here. It is going to be 3CC into Banshee. Banshees are amassing, and Cloak is being researched. Okay. Commits into Cloak. Yeah, we'll see how much damage can get done. The Zergling just gets in, gets a free scout of the main. Gets a free scout, confirms the 3rd CC, confirms the Cloak being resourced as well. Very nice moment here for Solar as he gets in, and it is Lair first. So Lair first out of Solar. Now taking his gases. We should soon be seeing Evo Chambers behind this. If not, this might be indicative of something greater here, of something like Spire Tech. There you go, double chamber, double upgrades, looking more like Ling Bane. Spores are repositioning, getting ready for the Banshees. And Cure's looking for a way in. Oh, does try to commit. Yeah, commits into the natural. Ling's nice, engaged here by Solar. He punches the Hellions, and ooh, he will completely shut them down. Yeah, 4 Hellions remaining. They rotate towards the 3rd. Lings are a little bit late to respond, but the drones are not. Oh, nice positioning here by Cure, but he's going to be cleaned up. Yeah, completely cleaned up here. 2 drones do go down, so there's some damage, but that was what, 8 Hellions? Yeah, 8 Hellions and a Reaper. Brutal losses there for Cure. Solo, he defends well. And behind this, that is not +1 melee, that is +1 range. Okay, we have 1/1 upgrades on the way into Hydra Tech. Now, this is a style that has been very popular over the past, what, 4 months? 4 or 5 months? Specifically, though, with Solar. Like, SHIN, Rogue, Lambo, Raynor, Serral, they don't really mess with this build too much. It's mainly Solar that's been embracing this, and that is a more standard opener, a more macro build here into a heavy Hydra style, into a delayed Baneling Nest and delayed melee upgrades. So he builds up a very heavy and a very high Hydra count early on. It's a more unique stylistic build that Solar has been enjoying as of late. It has its place for sure. It definitely has a big power spike. I would say that doesn't really scale as well into a late game scenario. Usually this leads into a big timing attack with Solar. Advantage is looking for more damage. Double jump on the way. Cure's being active, claiming his own third. 4 CC is soon to be in production as he is taking his gases at a factory, so there's no ARAX. Cure's macroing up. Just trying to be active. Does deal some decent damage. It does not force a cancel. Here are the Hydras, and again, they can bully the Marines. With this high numbers, he can. So again, a much more larva efficient composition here in the mid game, very Hydra heavy, and that is prompting tank production. Tanks are going to be ideal in this position, going into a heavy bio tank count. Baneling speed is on the way. And so far, Solar, he's defended well. Defended well. He's on 4 base saturation. He's on 82 workers. Now Solar can focus and fixate purely on army production. Solar's about to max out. Doesn't look like it yet, but that supply disparity is about to get larger and larger as Solar is done with his economy. His economy is complete. He will soon max with Baneling speed, and the goal here should be to break the army or to break the base, and it's going to be the army. As Kira is the one to move out, this is a bold move. Thankfully unscouted so far. Solar's not in position. But especially in this position, Solar, he can flank from the side. Army gets spotted. Solar, he responds. This base may go down, but that doesn't matter here. What matters is the army. Solar fighting for his base. There are 4 tanks in position. Hydra's moving forward. We're going to try to collapse in. He does get 3 tanks. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 tanks going to be going down. He won't get the final tank, though. We lose the base. Base falls. So we have somewhat of a back and forth. The expansion does fall, but Solar, he double expands, and he just killed 3 tanks. And again, if Cure will lose this army, he will lose this base as well, soon thereafter. We spoke about it at the start of the game, but that 4th base that Cure is taking is very difficult to defend. Solar almost flanks. There's 1 tank behind this. Sorry, 2 tanks. That's 2 free tanks. Another Vector Force to pick up. Tank goes down. Cure, he will find another expansion, though. He will force a cancel. Solar's out of position. Not bad. Denies the 5th base for a 3rd time. Solar just cannot expand. These are good pickups here by Cure. And once again, we spoke about this at the start of the game as well. The best defense on Ruby Rogue, sorry, on Old Republic is a good offense. What I mean by that is that Cure, if he was stuck at home, he would not save this base, but he's forcing Solar to be defensive, right? He's forcing Solar to be stuck at home, defending the northern 5th base, the southern 5th base. Like, this aggression here is working wonders for Cure to allow him to get his planetary up and running. So far, it's going well enough. Reinforcing with extra tanks. Hive is finishing up. That should gain access to Vipers. Solar ready for the flank. Uh-oh. Again, this position to try to push in is so brutal here. We find from behind. Bailings, they connect. Oh my god. The Bailings. They smash in and KungFu will lose everything. 3 tanks in the bio army at the same time. Doubled up on the right hand side. Does deny one of the bases. Does force a cancel. Once again, hopefully this keeps Solo busy. The last thing KungFu wants is Solo to push. Does not want Solo to push out. As he will deny the base once again. That's a kill this time. Kill, not a cancel. As KungFu does get away. Vipers are still lacking. We're setting up turrets, sensor towers, more planetaries, tank lines. Likewise, Solo taking up in towards lurkers as well. No ultras this time, of course. First lurkers are on the way. This is going to make it easier to defend these fringe locations with these lurkers. That is a little bit of a concern here for KungFu. We need to find some damage. Up until this point, he's done a great job of denying. Oh no, the Bailings, they smash in, they catch at the player. Heavy losses for KungFu, plummeting 30 supply. And he will lose these 2 tanks. What I was going to say is that up until this point, KungFu did a great job of denying the 5th base, but the 5th is up. The 5th is finally up and running, and now suddenly KungFu, he's falling behind. KungFu, he has lost map control. Nidus into the main base. Will distract. Rocksha knocked down. Solo moving in. Gets himself the would-be sick. And sniping CCs. Kills 1. Doesn't quite break the other. Lurkers, they still distract. Nidus Worm into the natural. Solo, he rotates over towards the would-be 5th expansion. And it's going to be a tough hold here for KungFu. Oh, does not get a Viper. Brutal Blinding Clouds. And Blinding Clouds, they pop off. Tank goes down. Ling Bane going to be rolling in. We're still lacking Ling Bane though. Lacking that. Oh, god. Lacking that Ling Bane. Bailings, they do connect. They connect, Bappy. Oh, no. Solo, he's holding his own. Once again, KungFu, he has to fight in this position. He cannot let the army get close. To his bases, I mean. Solo does launch in. Gets a tank. Oof. Catching another tank. Lurkers are whirling forward. The lurkers have finally arrived. The lunkers are here, Pappy. And they get within range. Oof. We spoke about it earlier. KungFu has to do everything he could to keep the army out of range of the bases. The bases are going to start going down. Ghosts have arrived. True. Nice one finishes. Lurkers into the main. Once again, causing a big distraction. Yeah, they laugh at this opening here. Catching out 2 Liberators and a tank. Oh, not quite the tank. Yeah, not quite. Bit of a misstep there by Solar. As Solo, he's now taken over the entire map, and you can see the momentum switch from one player to the other. Once Solo got his 5th base up and running, he gained map control. And now KungFu's on the back foot. So the back foot. He is slowly building up his ghost counts. He's got 7 ghosts so far, but no Liberators. His army isn't quite there. It's not quite there. Solo doesn't quite lunge forward. Not yet. Getting to 3-3. Throwing down more Nidus Worms. Rotating over. I would say that KungFu, he has a decent tank setup here towards the center. Here on the right hand side is still a little bit lacking. As he is moving in position. Because they do try to somewhat trade. Solar moving in. Catching a tank. Nice flying cloud. As another one connects, another tank goes down as well. This time there's no planetary. But Curie's holding on. He's holding on back. Oof. Yeah, you can see Solar rallying. He knows he's close to breaking through. Lunges in. Takes down 2 more tanks. Takes down 3. Yeah, all 3 tanks go down. Massive losses. CC falls as well. Breaks the expansion. He breaks the base. Sure does deny hatchery, but nowhere near as impactful. Nowhere near. Solar, he responds. An awkward rotation. Yeah, messy rotation out of Solar. Kira once again fighting for his 5th. At this stage, the 4th base is going to be... is it too difficult to push into? There are less tanks here than previously. There are less tanks. Now we have infestors. Fungal does land, catching out 2 ghosts. Another fungal here on the right hand side as well. Massive fungal, oh my god. Yeah, brutal fungals. Catching out the army. Solar once again he pulls away. Pivots around. Oof, catching out more ghosts. 2 more ghosts falling towards the end. And Solar has a bank, right? Solar, he has a bank to work with. Curious still not regained that 5th. Cure, he needs a base. He's broke. Cure has no money. This is a very bold position. Okay. Yeah, Cure a little bit too aggressive here. He will lose another set of tanks. It's fighting for the creep. Ooh. Fungal does not land. Nice time with the infestor. Once again, tanks are exposed, losing 3 more tanks. That's a 3, losing 5? Oh, good. And 5 more tanks going down, and the command center as well. Once again, expensive losses here for Cure. And these are cheap trades, cheap losses for Solar, right? He's trading Ling Bane. Just Ling Bane. He's more than happy to trade. Nice Night's Harass. Moving into the bases. Once again, tanks are exposed. Just gets the 1. Oh, but that is 16 SCV kills. Critical damage here in the back line. 17 SCVs going down. There's a window here before the railings are done, but yeah, the window is closing. Cure, he just wants a 5th base. He's trying. We do have Solar getting ready for potentially Broodlords. I don't think that's quite necessary here, but he has the tech ready. Greater Spire is finishing. Fungal's coming in. Solar, his army is split. Bear that in mind. He does move in. Once again, the army's a bit out of position. Catching out a couple of tanks. Jesus, there's a solid tank line behind this, though. Yeah, a lot of tanks further back. Oh. Fungal does graze the army. Nothing major. Denies the base. At the same time, very nice drop here by Cure. Does find a good amount of drones. It's 10 drones going down. Solar, he's forced all the way back home. Forced to respond. Messy response here from Solar as he will lose a base. We'll lose the expansion. This is a good example as to why players like Serral, for example, they get Nidus Worms here in each corner base so they can evacuate very, very quickly. Just to at least save the drones. As there's a very real chance we won't be able to respond in time. Very real. So he finds an opening. I mentioned this earlier, how the center area here was less fortified. So he does find that himself. Pushing into the natural. Threatening the main base. There is a tank on the high grounds. So he has to be careful. Oh, pushing into tank lines, not worth it. Yeah, a little bit messy, but at the same time, this was 13 SCVs. Rallies into the 5th. Cause a distraction. And Solo, he knows what he wants. Does have a fungal available. Oh, nice EMP. Nice EMP in the Infestor. Tanks that were unsieged. Better engage for Solar. And we spoke about this earlier, but again, Cure, he has no money. Like he is broke. He's trying to keep up. Cure breaking out. Does land a couple of snipes. But here come the blinding clouds. They're covering every single tank as well. Ay, ay, ay. Got brutal catch here, catching out all the tanks. Collapsing on the army. Heavy losses for Cure, losing what, 5, 6 tanks. Oh my god. Yeah, so many tanks go down, and with that Solar, he has broken the main army. And again, Cure just can't afford anything else. He's on a, what, a 1 base economy? If that. Barely trying to mine. Launching forward once again. Takes down another tank. And GG gets called. GG gets called. Solar, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Solar, he will claim the series. Again, it was a pretty intense period there where it was just Cure just struggling to defend his 5th base. Like that's what it came down to. I mentioned at the time that specifically on the Old Republic, this is why, or this map is Zurich favored once we get into this kind of game state. It is so difficult for the Terran player to defend and to survive and to claim a 4th and to claim a 5th base. This is why, if you noticed, for the past 5+ minutes, it was Cure stuck at home. Cure, he had no map presence. He had a couple of drops moving out here and there to apply some pressure and to get some mineral lines or get some hatchery kills, but outside of that, he was just stuck at home, and he had some very rough trades just because of how open these bases are. Every single time there was a fight, tanks were going down. 2, 3, 4 tanks were falling. Heavy losses there for Cure. Could not defend. GG. GG, well played. Oh, meanwhile, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the bits in the chat. Gah, baby, gah. Thank you so much. Come, I wish to hear cheap losses for once. It does happen in certain matchups with Zerg in this kind of situation, or Protoss as well. I think we mentioned last time. But GG. GG, well played. With that Solar, he will claim the series, will advance on, and again, winding it back a little bit here, Cure, I would say he had a decent start to the game. Remember, Cure, he was doing a good job when it comes to denying the 5th base. Until he wasn't, right? Like, I think he denied the 5th base 3 or 4 different times, and that was great. You know, he was able to keep Solar back, but then we did take note of the fact that at a certain moment, Solar, he took his 5th and he maintained it. He got it up and running, and that was the shift. That was the moment that the game shifted heavily in favor of Solar, where he gained map control, and Cure was stuck at home. Suddenly, he was stuck at home. GG, well played. And with that, we're now getting into our next series. We're going to be jumping into our next TVZ. It's going to be between Clem and SHIN. Let's go. Let us go. Missed 100 bits earlier? Oh no. Maybe. Thank you for the bits, man. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Oh yeah, I see it. That was during the break screen, Pappy. During the break. Oh, sorry, during the countdown timer, I should say. It's the I stand. But thank you. Thank you for the 100 bits, I stand. Thank you, Psycons, as well, for the bits. We appreciate it. As we're getting into our next series, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the French Terran player, the blue Terran, representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player, the red Zerg player himself. It is SHIN. Hold on. I got you, Pappy. I got you. Beautiful. Here we go as we're getting into our fresh series, our fresh TVZ. Now we did showcase a certain style of Terran and Zerg previously. I would say that the Cure previously on Ruby Rock was a little bit too passive, and we saw 2-base Roach play out of Solar. Likewise, SHIN, Hatchcat's Pool, standard opener. I was about to say that we expect to see the same style out of SHIN opening up with Roaches, but no, he does go for a standard opener instead. Curious to see where he takes us. SHIN is very fond of Roach heavy play and Roach heavy styles in towards Hive Tech and in towards Ultras, or into 2-base Muta as well. Like SHIN, he's very fond of just 2-base play, period, in ZBT. That is how he defeated Maru in GSL, if you recall, in the GSL Season 4 semifinals. At least I expected to see more of that here, but so far it's looking like a standard opener. We'll see where SHIN takes us, and we'll see how Clem responds and reacts. For now, standard opener out of both players. We're calming down. So now we are going to be opening up. Nowhere near as aggressive here from Clem as opposed to Cure when it comes to the 2-Rax Reaper. Just Rax expand, Reaper moves out, pokes in. We can see that SHIN, he does not take a third, by the way. We spoke earlier when it comes to solos matches, but it is a lot more common to stay on 2 bases nowadays. Oh. To go for 2-base play. SHIN, he does pull out of gas. True, pulls out of gas. Just getting link speed. And now SHIN can expand. Now much later third. Much later third base. Is not delayed. Behind this, Clem getting into his own third CC. 3 CC 111. Most likely 3 CC Banshee. Just calming down. Really what I'm most curious about is how SHIN techs, like where he techs up from here, when he gets his gases, and what he goes for first, whether it's Lair, Roach Warren, Evo Chamber. Bearing in mind, this is also post-GSL semis, and we did mention something during the semifinals when we were casting it. That is the fact that SHIN, he played like a really unique and a really intense style against Maru, but everyone was watching that. And the same thing happened at DreamHack, if you recall, when SHIN defeated Clem. SHIN, he showcased like his Roach Infestor into ultra heavy style, and it was shortly after that where Terran players kind of figured that out and then started to punish that. Like, that kind of style only stuck around for a brief period before we had to try to transition out of that, for example. It's kind of what we expected here. Meanwhile, nice counterattack. Oh my god. Hellion gets caught, Slings a bust into the mineral line, and Clem gets caught with his pants down. The army's racing back home to defend. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, the pants are down. SCVs are falling. Nice run by here by SHIN. Nice run by 2 SCVs. Cashing out. Ooh, a Hellion is going to be cleaned up. Doesn't get another worker, but does disrupt a lot of the mining, a lot of the early game. So very nice start. Also got a full scout confirming the cloak on the way, and also the 3rd CC. So SHIN gets a full scouts. Behind this, spores are on the way. Evo Chamber first. Okay. Just the one. Does go for the faster chamber. Likewise, Clem claiming his own 3rd, and we're building up. So it looks like +1 carapace in towards Lair Tech, assuming we get an upgrade, period, as we didn't actually have the gas for both. And so a little bit messy here by SHIN, a little bit messy. The Banshee does move out. Hellions rotating over. Oof. They do rotate to the third. Nice catch. Does force a cancel. On the fourth base, I should say. Even catching a queen. Oh my god. Yeah, queens are going to be going down. Hellions, they bust into the main. Ling's out of position. Oh my god. Yeah, Shin, he's getting punished. A heavy punish here. Every Zergling goes down. We bust into the mineral line, and drones are getting roasted. Earlier, we had a nice Ling run by here by Shin, but this time, the Hellions, they pop off. They bust into the main. 6 drone kills. Heavy losses on the Zerglings. Shin, he will defend. Ah, no, but the Banshees, they just keep going. Yeah, the Banshees are not done. 11 drones going down. Critical damage early on. Before we can even build up into the mid-game, by the way. 15, 16, 17 drone kills. This is soon becoming from critical into game-ending damage. 19 drones. Ay, ay, ay. And behind this, we have Stim that's almost done. +1. Combat shields thereafter. Building up his bio tank. I'm looking solid. So here, you want to embarrass me with a Ling round by? Nah, I'll show you how it's done. Oh no, the Hellion run by, pappy. And here comes the 1-2 punch. So initially with the harassment, Clem kills 19 drones and a queen. Now here comes the main push, and I do not see a world where Shin can defend against this. Now Shin, he did redrone. He's been redroning, resaturating to make up for his losses. That means his main army is that much smaller, that much weaker, so there's no saving the space. And that's going to be a kill, not a cancel. So even kills the 4th. Ling Ramai gets 1 SCV, just 1. Clem, you can pull away. Pull away, can rotate over. And the goal here for Clem is deny the 4th base. He's already killed 1, now he's going for the other. The other 4th expansion. What does Shin have to defend? So Shin, did he go without a Bailey Nest? Yes. So this is similar to what Solo was going for on the Old Republic. If you recall in Game 2, where I mentioned how Solo has been playing around quite a lot with a Ling Hydra heavy style with delayed Bailings. We saw that previously at a Solar. We're seeing that here at a Shin. But this also means that there's no splash damage against the Bio Army. A purely Ling Hydra composition can be quite fragile. Can be. Here's a scan, does spot the army. Clem is tempted, for now distracted by the Zergling. But now it's pushing forward. That's a lot of bio. And it isn't just that Ling Hydra is fragile, it's that Shin has stumbled his way into the mid game. He's had a very, very, very rocky start. So he has a smaller army than what he should have. Lings are deflected. Tanks are moving in. And Clem, now he can engage. And now he can engage getting 1, getting 2 queens. 2 queens go down. You see Clem trying to bait the army with the range of the tanks. Trying to bait him in. At the same time, Shin going for a massive Ling counterattack. Does hit the 3rd. And SCVs are going to go down. Get 7 SCV kills, nice damage. At the same time, Shin will lose the 4th. He will lose the 4th base. Oof. Hydras are still exposed. Scans the main, confirms the tech. Lings, they do find more SCVs though. Again, nice Ling run-bys. 12 SCVs. This is nice if Shin had a 4th base. Unfortunately, he doesn't. And Clem is maxed. Clem is maxed out. Bailing speed is done in 5 seconds. Clem sims in. Shows bailing speed. And Shin is racing back home to defend. 1 fight is all he has in him. 1 fight, Pappy. He commits. Yeah, he commits into the siege line. Clem kites back. Massive tank shots going off. Bailings are being denied, and they will not connect. Oof. We have 2 Bailings connecting towards the end, but with that, Clem has done it. Clem, he's snowballed out of control. He breaks through the main army, breaks through Ling Bane. There's only one Baneling left. And Clem will overwhelm. Oof. Catching up more Hydras. Catching up more Banelings. Oh, God. He runs into the Banelings, Pappy. Clem making it a little bit hard for himself towards the end, but I mean, he still has enough. GG gets called, and Clem takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, a brutal start here for SHIN, losing 19 drones and a queen. That was insane damage. Remember, early on, SHIN had a nice lean run by where he killed 2 SCVs, and then bam, we saw the Hellion counterattack with, unfortunately, the Lings for SHIN being out of position. Lings are out of position, Queens are out of position. There was an opening into the natural. Clem, he saw that opening, he went for it, he just sent it into the main base, got into the high ground. That was game. That was game then and there. That was 19 drone kills. The game continued from there on forward, but because of all those losses, SHIN could not defend his 4th base, either 4th location. There was a kill on the 4th base on the top side, and then eventually a kill on the 4th base on the bottom side as well. Just could not defend after those losses, and with that, Clem takes a lead. Does take a lead, and we are jumping to game number 2. Jumping into Mothership. Alright, jumping in and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Mothership, we have the French Terran player. We have the blue Terran leading the series 1-0. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player, the red Zerg player himself down in the series. It is SHIN. Yo, este rimbo, papi. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Ya, papi, ya. Good to see you, Pappy. Good to see you. Pappy, what are your thoughts on the PTR? We had a couple of podcasts. We had a couple of podcasts going over the PTR notes, the patch notes initially, and then the follow-up a couple of days ago as well. Personally, I haven't had too much time in the PTR, but I think first things first, I appreciate your write-up, by the way. Este Lorim. Oh my god, Pappy. I thought you could only cheese. I thought you could only have the queso, but no, you had a very nice write-up, very in-depth as well. We appreciate it, we appreciate it. I think I agree with them. I agree with the main sentiment of the idea of varying up the early game and providing some diversity and mixing things up in general. That's something that I'm all for. And originally I was, I'm all for, worker changes and testing them out. Testing has occurred, and if the reality is that the worker count is actually hurting diversity and is actually making the game more stale, I mean, I will say that there are other factors at play there, of course, like the increased resource count on bases does incentivize more turtle heavy play. Likewise, the gateway changes also incentivize more turtle heavy play out of Protoss players as well, just because they can't be active and aggressive early on. Like, there are just a bunch of changes that are going against the goals of the PTR, which is a little bit weird. So obviously I'm against the idea of that, and I would hope to see changes come in when it comes to the PTR to be able to increase like build diversity and potential aggressive factors as well. I'm all for that. How that's done, though, I haven't looked too much into it. I know that there's a lot of people with different ideas. I know there are ideas for like increasing, larva injects and increasing larva that way through queen injects. I know there are other people that are being advocates for maybe getting rid of macro mechanics or doing something different to the chrono boost, the mule, and to the inject itself, whether it's removing or whether it's buffing, or doing something to that. I know there's a lot of ideas floating around. I haven't delved too much into it, I will say, just because we just cast too much, Pappy. I said this previously, but it was the same with Stormgate. Like, I never had a chance to play any, even though I got invited to like the closed beta of Stormgate or even like the alpha of Zero Space. Like, I just didn't get to spend any time with Zero Space or Stormgate because we're just casting all the time. Same with the PTR. Like, outside of casting PTR tournaments, which we have done a little bit, we've casted 2 tournaments so far in the PTR, and that has helped us formulate an opinion for sure. But I haven't been able to delve too much into the PTR due to catching up with KungFu Cup and Wardy TV Mondays and Pigaster Cups and Sparkling Tuna Cups and GSL is this weekend, for example. Masters of the Game is going on as well. Home Story Cup is right around the corner. Like, there's just a lot of StarCraft at the moment. I'd wish that we had more opening cups like Monday Night Weeklies and Wardy TV Mondays and KungFu Cup switched to the PTR, and I think that's slowly happening just to get more content on it. But I think like a lot of people were waiting to see what kind of direction and what ideas get brought to the forefront, and what Blizzard listens to, and what the next phase of the PTR does bring to the table. I do appreciate that that Pig is doing the best he can to try to shed a limelight to this and kind of lead the discussion or start the discussion on a lot of these things. I mean, all links are for a counter attack, but anyway, that's the. As things go for a counter attack, they get into the middle line so far. 4 CV kills at the same time. 7 drones just went down to the Hellion run by. Ay. We're getting crazy, but we had some standard openers initially here, but workers are going down. Clem, he will defend, he will gain map control behind this, going for his own Hellion Banshee aggression. Clem does go for a 1-1-1. 1-1-1, delayed third CC, so much more committed build here by Clem. Much more committed, much more aggressive, and we'll see what he can achieve as he gets across the map. Back at home, Shin, he is droning, saturating. No tech of choice yet. We're reaching the 430 mark at this point. He was committed with his Ling run by. That will delay his tech though, and we'll see if he goes into the faster lair or faster upgrades. Oh, hello. There's still no third CC. Clem throwing down 2 more maxes actually. Okay. 2 more maxes are thrown down. A heavier follow-up here. Stim is on the way. More Marines, more bio. Clem is going to commit. He's committing on 2 bases. And Shin has yet to confirm. So I'm just catching up with the chat. Got so much shit for that one. Really? Loremo, don't listen to the clowns, Babby. Don't listen to the clowns. Gotta be careful. I mean, that's StarCraft ready for you. There's just there's a lot of people with opinions, and a lot of them don't play or even watch StarCraft actually. Like they, so cuidado, Babby, cuidado. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. We appreciate it. Res full of people with silly opinions. I mean, Twitch chat as well. So just yeah, we try to curate as best we can when it comes to our community. But yeah, it's communities in general. You know, Twitch chat, YouTube chat. Yo, YouTube chat can be wild. Reddit. But I will say something very quickly here, which we did talk about during the podcast. For those who don't know, we do have a weekly podcast where we do discuss all of this on a regular basis, every single week. Longest running SC2 podcast out there nowadays. True. But I did mention that what I do appreciate is that despite how they want to paint things and despite how they want to frame certain people, I appreciate that even though Pig, he was a big advocate for the worker change, I appreciate that he was able to take that constructive feedback, like Lorimbo's post, for example, and even come out and say like, hey, like if this is not achieving what we wanted, then like, you know, get rid of the worker count start, right? And just go back to 12. Like if it's not achieving what we want, right? Like he's not tied to that way of changing things. He, I would say, has been very transparent about the idea that he just wants something that's better for the game. And even though like he definitely is like the face of the worker count change, like if it doesn't work, if it isn't good, then like he's more than happy to just scrap that idea. Despite how certain people want to like frame the concept of Pig like maliciously like pushing that because that's something that he personally wants, where he's been very open about the idea that like, hey, if this doesn't work, just don't use it. Like it's fine. As again, Clem, he's committed on 2 bases. Shin, he comes in. Oh, very nice around though. Shin collapsing the army. Sorry, we were a little bit focusing on other things. But Shin, he will collapse on both tanks. Both tanks go down, but the Marines, they do stand strong. Oh my god, Clem, calm down. Clem, he saved the Marines, and with that, he's breaking on through. There aren't any Banelings left, and without Banelings, how do we defend? How do we defend as Clem, he breaks through the main army, pushing to the third base. The boys are being pulled, and before we can get into the mid-game, these are heavy losses for Shin, losing every single drone, losing every single Zergling. Shin, he almost defended, but GG gets called, and Clem, he will claim the series 2-0. GG. Again, we're a little bit distracted, but winding it back here. So Clem, he went into heavy 2-base play very late third expansion, and he committed with his 2-base tank push. Shin, he did have a decent setup to surround and to engage, but I was shocked to see that Clem, he saved all the players, saved all the Marines, shut down the Ling Bane, and just ended the game. Just ended the game then and there. GG, well played. Clem will claim the series. GG, well played. Clem will claim the series 2-0. Again, a very decisive build here and decisive play out of Clem to just double down on 2 bases, to break across the map. Shin, alas, he was very dedicated himself when it comes to his own Ling aggression, which didn't really pan out. He didn't get the damage he was hoping for, and I would imagine that he wasn't aware of just how late the third base was of Clem either. He had a decent surround, a decent engage, I'll be honest, coming in from 2 different flanks, but limited creep spread, and also the micro there from Clem was brutal. GG. GG, well played. With that, Clem, he will claim the series. He will claim the series, and he will advance on to the grand finals. Up next, we do have a best of 5. Solar just took down Cure, Clem took down Shin, and we have a Solar versus Clem in the next round. Let's go. So it's catching up. I cost 25 hours a day, 8 days a week. Ah, Smurge. Not wrong, Backy, not wrong. But GG. GG, well played. With that, we are getting ready for our grand final. So we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we'll have our next series. We'll have our best of 5 between Clem and Solar. We'll see you soon. See you soon after the short break. Go. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the grand finals here, los grand finales of the KungFu Cup, the KFC 2026 week number 9. We're jumping into our the final series of the broadcast, the grand finals, another TVZ. It's been non-stop TVZ here tonight with Cure, Solar, Clem, and SHIN, and now we have our final 2 players remaining. Let's go. Let us go. We're going to be jumping into our fresh series. Game 1 will be on Ruby Rock. Let's go. Let us go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the blue Zerg player, himself. Oh, blue Zerg player himself. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the French Terran player, the red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Lem. Let's go. Let us go. We're here. We are back. We are jumping into a fresh best of 5. Now, coming into this here, Solar, he did have a very different style that we saw against Cure, and I'm a little bit surprised that we didn't see that out of SHIN. If you recall, I was emphasizing how SHIN, he's often a roach-heavy player. He's one of the roach boys, 2-base heavy as well. We saw none of that out of SHIN in his series. And we saw plenty of that out of Solar. So that's kind of what I'm leaning towards here, especially against Clem, is 2-base heavy play and roach heavy play as well. We'll keep an eye on Solar. We'll see if he does go for a delayed gas or not. That would be the first sign, of course, of, you know, delaying your gas, of being very 2-base heavy and potentially get into roaches. Meanwhile, oh, 2-Rax Reaper out of Clem. This is a variation that we've been seeing a lot more of as of late from players like Clem, Maru as well. It's 2-Rax Reaper, but the second Rax and first Rax are in the main base. This makes it more difficult to scout. Difficult to confirm, and typically it does force a delayed reaction out of the opposing player. Here though, hatch gas pool out of Solar. He does go for a standard opener so far, and we'll see what Clem can achieve with our initial Reapers. We go. As Reapers are going to be amassing. Reapers will amass. Solo likewise moving out across. And Solo, he will spot the first Reaper, but that's not a sign. That's not really a sign, that's not really a tell. Gets highs on the CC timing, and back at home we have excess links on the way. So 6 links in production. Link speed is prioritized. Reaper does move in, and we'll see what kind of damage that Clem can achieve. What can he find? Just dancing with the army. Spoke in, does dance. So drone is kept safe, kept hidden, and will expand. Does manage to expand. With this Clem, ideally he wants to force a cancel, and I think he will. Yeah, I believe he will. These Solings and the Slow Queens, they cannot really engage here, and this will be a massive pickoff if he can force that cancellation. More KA charges. More stutter stepping. Third CC on the way behind this, so Clem getting further ahead, going for his own 3 CC 2-on-1. Assuming he does cancel. Again, still very close. Lings, they try to engage. Oof. And he might save the base. No shot. Now there are 4 Reapers. There we go. There's the cancellation. Massive pickup. Takes out the base. Kills the drone as well. Does kill the worker. Bullying the Zerglings. And Clem is racing back home. He's racing back home. We are going for a massive link wall behind this. We have 10 more Lings on the way. Solar, he is committed. Link speed kicks in. And can he get any damage done? I mean, remember, Clem, he can always lift. He can always lift up. He can always lift off. Reapers, they make it back home. And how quickly does Clem react? Does he pull away in time? He does. Yeah, he pulls away. Will lose SCVs. Does lose 1 worker so far. Only 1 worker. Does lift the ramp. Does lift the wall. It's going to be 4 SCV kills. I say, yeah, Yeah, 4 SCVs going down, but so far this is worth it for Clem. Again, this was a massive commitment into Zerglings. This would have been so many drones instead. But remember, late third expansion, late droning as well, late saturation. Solar has taken a lot of damage, a lot of losses, and behind this, Clem is just settling into his own fast third CC. May have lost workers, but with that faster third base, we have extra mules and extra SCV production. These Reapers, they have been worth it. They have paid for themselves. They're being a little bit cavalier, but with the Hellion support, yeah, they can be. They can be. Wings, they bypass the main army. They're going to try to go for the counterattack. Clem doesn't have much at home to defend, by the way. He's got 2 Marines, but we have 2 Hellions about to pop. Wings, they step in, they get 1, they get 2. 2, 3, 4, late reaction by Clem. Yeah, late reaction. 4 SCVs going down. Bleeding out a couple of Marines and another SCV. And another 6, not bad. 6 SCV kills, and Clem races back home. So very nice counter damage here from Solar. He's hanging in there. He's on that road to recovery. Behind this, building a bit of roaches. There's Roach Tech on the way. Clem, he's lost 10 SCVs. That economic lead that Clem should have, I mean, now he's using it to try to keep up. True. He's trying to keep up. As Clem is looking for a way in. Yo, I'm getting some SHIN flashbacks. True. Queen's getting low, but so far they hold their own. They throw back the army. Clem trying to bait the army. Trying to bait the Lings. And Queens, they come in from behind. And remember, behind this, Clem is working towards that sim timing. Just dancing with the army here. Taking away as Zerglings. Banshees, they do hit the third. Solo, no major losses yet. Not yet. Do we find a queen? There is 1 transfuse. Oof. Yeah, there's the first transfuse, the only one. And queens just start going down. Actually got 1 queen so far. Gets almost another. The clutch reactions. The queens are gonna go down. Don't like this. Take a second queen. Catching out a second queen. Clem now establishing his own third. Stim is now done. 1-1 is on the way, and soon Clem will be pushing. He will move out. Now, there will be roaches in time to defend, but is that going to be enough is a question. Bearing in mind that because we're going to roaches, no Bailings. There's no Bailing support. So Bio can be that much more threatening. Clem going for his double drop. Threatening the expansion. Banshee to the main base, Hellions towards the third, and Marines towards the fourth. So we have our tri-pronged aggression. Soul, he's ready. He's ready for the Marines. But Hellions, they do find a way to the mineral line. Oof, roasting up a couple of drones. Queens are exposed. Aye. Solar, he was in position, not anymore. 2 queens go down, Overseer as well. Nice pickoffs. 6 drone kills. But did that cost Clem the Banshee? It did not. The Banshee survived. Wow. Banshee did survive. Soul, he's still droning, by the way, still saturating. He's moving out, but this is just a posture. Oof. Let's see, he bleeds out Zerglings. Clem setting up defensively. Again, this was a fake out push. Does give Soul a little bit of breathing room at least. Lets him breathe. As the Hellions are finally getting caught out. Finally, papi. Por fin. Por fin. As one of them still gets away. And up until this point, it's just been purely harassment. Hellions, Reapers, Banshees, double drop play. Clem, he's getting ready for his main push. Yeah, here comes the big on siege. Here comes Clem's main army move outs. And what exactly is there to defend? Bailing speed only just now began. This is the downside of going into roaches, of course, is it does delay bailing speed. Without bailing speed, it's going to be a tough hold. Oof. While they try to buy some time. We've got 4 Ravagers, soon to be 5. Sorry, 6. Tanks are setting up. Again, Clem has a massive window in time here where he can break through before there are Banelings ready. But so far, Clem playing it safe, playing it slow. Solo going for the counterattack. Back at home, there's not much to defend. There is an opening. There's an opening, Pappy. As Clem is trading, but without his tanks. Wings, they get across the map. There are reinforcements back at home. Clem, he will defend. Banelings just try to roll in. Oof. Mine just getting baited. Marauders, they move forward. They tank the Banelings. Clem, he defends. He defends back at home. But once again, he has not really gained any ground with these tanks. He has not pushed forward. Now there are Vipers. The Ultra Cabinet is done behind this as well. Soul's been quite greedy, actually taking a bit of Hive. Can he get there? Again, Soul's been given a lot of time. Clem's still posturing. Reinforcements finally on the way. And then he can start to push. Yeah, then he can begin. Riding out the Marines. 1 cloud on the tanks. I'm not even going to induction. Tanks, they hold the line, they punish. Oh my god. Yeah, Clemmy gets what he wanted. He does force fight within tank range. Roaches go down. We have Ultras trickling in. These are unupgraded Ultras. No kindness plating. They get focused down. They tank somewhat well. We need more bio. Yeah, we need more bio here. Solo, he breaks out. He breaks out. He will clean up the siege line. Gets 1, 2 tanks. 1 tank left. It's getting messy. We're getting messy. We're getting rowdy. But I don't think Clem has a marauder count. Not when the ultras arrive. Sola, has he done it? Has he held on? The ultras, they take so long. They take so long to come out. Ah, there's 1 ultralisk. Soon to be 4. Soon to be 5. Soon to be 5 ultras. And again, I don't think Clem has the answer for that. We'll see. I'll pick up. Decent mine connections. Clem does spot the bases. Not bad. Denying mining. Some wasted DPS here on the top side. There we go. Does focus. Does fixate. Catching out more drones. The Ultra Cannon is getting... Oh, no, he infest... No, he gets 2 free infestors. Oof. And nice catch here by Clem. Catching out 5 drones. A drop on the left side. Drop towards the top side as well. We got a triple drop here as well. Just pulling Solar apart. He cannot keep up. GG gets called. GG gets called. And Clem takes game number 1. Whew. Hi. Oh, my apologies. Does say SHIN in game. My apologies. We'll fix that up for game 2. But GG all played. Clemmy does take a lead in the series. SHIN, he did use an alternate ID in game previously, so I do apologize. We'll fix that up. But Clemmy does take a lead 1-0, and we're jumping into game number 2. Let's go. Winding it back here, I was a little bit concerned that Clem was taking too long to push into the bases. Ultras were amassing, and I was favoring Soul in a head-on fight, but we never had a head-on fight. We never had that engage. There we go. We never had that head-on engagement, as we did take note, of course, that Clem, he was able to split up the army, go for drops, liberate harass, banshee harass as well, and Sola, he was pulled apart. And here we go, spawning in the top right-hand corner of the Old Republic. We have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg. Down in the series, we'll see if we can bounce back. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the French Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Let's go. Let us go. But again, do apologize for the wrong name being showcased earlier. As you can see, bam. But SHIN, we had to use. He was using an alternate ID. Every now and then, we have a player that like uses a barcode. For example, like Bjorn. Bjorn has been using a barcode on the PTR. So we have to manually change the name. Did forget to fix it after the semis. But it should be good from here on forward. So we're getting into game number 2 here, and we once again open up 2x Reaper. Now, last game, this was a very strong start for Clem. If you recall, he did force a cancel on the 3rd expansion. He was able to lure Solo to expand, and then bam, did force that cancellation, and Clem had a stronger start. I will say that Solo did a great job at counterattacking and making things a little bit shaky and getting some SCV kills. Remember, he killed 10 workers in the lead up to the mid game, purely off of Ling Rumbais and counterattacks. So definitely some nice moves out of Solar. We'll see if the same build works anywhere near as well 2 games in a row. I'm a little bit skeptical, but we'll see. But now Hatch Gas Pool, Sand open out of Solar, 2x Reaper out of Clem. Again, further back in the main base to make it more difficult to scout. This also does mean that the natural base is going to be more exposed. True. Will be more vulnerable. So Clem does move out. Out across the map. Does poke in. Solo does hide his drone to claim his 3rd. Does hide his worker. Oh. So far, a nice pickoff. 2nd Reaper is revealed, and Solo, he does not claim his 3rd base anywhere near as fast this time. Solo, he's now aware. He's now aware. So playing it safe, hiding that drone. Clem looking for a way in. Let's look for a way in here. So far, just going to be zoned away behind this 3rd CC before Starport. Economic follow-up here by Clem. Does go for the economy. Oh. Jesus, this is so much damage to the Queen. Oh my god, calm down, Clem, calm down. Yeah, 3rd is not being taken, and it looks like it should get up this time. I believe we have not as much of a commitment here. It's only 3 Reapers as opposed to last game where we built up into 5. So only 3 Reapers. Clem pulls away and Solar freely expands. So much cleaner start here for Solar. Much, much cleaner. Clem back at home, getting to his own 3CC 2-on-1. We'll see if he does mix in a Banshee with this. Otherwise, it should just be working towards a bio setup. Into Marines, into a sim timing. Eyes are on Clem. Likewise, last game Solo went into a Roach Heavy style, but on a smaller map that makes sense on Ruby Rock. Here on the Old Republic, we're expecting Ling Bane. We're expecting either Ling Bane or Ling Hydra. It's a little bit rarer to see Roach Heavy styles on some of these larger maps. Doesn't make anywhere near as much sense. Oh, nice catch there. Gets a drone. Gets 1 transferring worker. Lings, they come in from behind. They do fight the army. And so far, decent damage on the Hellions already. Cashing out some of the Reapers. Yeah, very nice catch here. 1, 2, 3 Reapers going down. The Hellions, they almost full as well. Better trade for Solo. Sure, he lost a drone, but that was worth it. So overall here, just a better start for the Zerg compared to last game. Gets his 3rd base up and running. Punishes the Reapers early on. Only losing 1 drone, and that is going to be a lair first. Okay. So lair first out of Solar. Jesus, calm down. We are this time going for the Bailey Nest, but do you see what I see? No Evo chambers. Lack of chambers tells me that we may actually go into Aspire. It's not going to be a commitment to Ling Hydra this time at least. But we'll keep an eye on Solar. Meanwhile, Clem did open up with a singular Banshee, no cloak. Just a vanilla Banshee on the right hand side, Hellions on the top side as well. Looking to push in. Double Eva Chamber. Never mind. We're still going for the double chamber, still going for the upgrades. Just a little bit later. Safer play out of Solar. Basically, if this was a Hellbat push, Solar would be ready for it. And it's not uncommon to see a Hellbat follow-up. So just very safe play out of Solar. Prioritizing Baneling speed. Very safe play. As Clem is going for an early push. This is going to hit with Stim. So we have Stim, we have a couple of Hellions to support, a couple of Widow Mines. And we'll see if Clem can deny the 4th base. It's going to be a lot of Link Bane waiting for him though. Speaking of Hellbats, yep, the Hellbats say morph in, but that's why the Banelings are ready. We just spoke about it. As Banelings they roll in, they punish the Hellbats, they completely shut Clem down, and oh, this is a rough start for Clem. Failed to do damage early on, didn't break the expansion. Lings they counterattack, they get 5 SD vehicles, they deny the 3rd, and it all just falls apart. Ay ay ay. Clem, he was so committed. The Hellbat push failed. 3rd CC was denied. Solar getting further and further ahead. It was already a good start for Solar, now even better. Maintains the 4th base. Takes up into Hydras, getting to his own Link Bane Hydra. Can now freely drone up to 80. 80 drones. And freely set up. Oh. Solar so far keeping up with the drops. Now, once Solar gains map control, we've been here before in the previous series with Solar versus Cure, and it comes down to whether or not Clem can secure a 4th and 5th base. As we mentioned previously, like the 4th and 5th base here on this map on the Old Republic is just very difficult to defend, very difficult to maintain as the defending player. And that will soon become Clem. Not impossible, but difficult. Especially after having a rough early to mid game. Liberators, they move in. Clem still pushing out. We mentioned this in the previous series as well, but the best defense here on the Old Republic is a good offense. Clem doing everything he can to keep Solar busy. Just keep him busy. Still reinforcing. Queens, they respond. Hydras as well. No. Cuidado. And Liberators are going to be going down. It does trade somewhat okay with some of the Link Bane, but hey, does get a Queen. Again, Clem, he's not stopping. He cannot stop. The moment he stops, then Solar gains map control. He's not going to lose it either. So Clem just has to keep going, just has to keep dropping whatever he can. Whatever he can, Pat. Solar's not quite in position. Okay. We can find some damage. Trips into the natural. It does not get the Queen. Doesn't get drones. Solar, he responds in time. Solar, he's ready, and Solar's maxing out. And with Solar maxing out, his goal here is to break these armies and then push across the map and deny the 4th. Clem trying to get his 4th base up and running. He's trying. But again, that map control is slipping away. Creep is now spreading. Hive is on the way, getting into Viper Tech. Solar, he's almost there. Solar just claps in. Oh! Catching out the mines. Oh, Widow Mine shots do not go off. And no major connections. Now, what I will say is that, again, because of all this drop play, Clem is securing his planetary. Planetary is now up. Sensor tower, another CC. Ideally, more SimCity. And he needs to build up his tank count. So far, only 2 tanks. Oh. Nice mine shot. Nice mine shots. Once again, trying to distract. Soul does catch Clem out. Catching out the Bio, catching out the Liberators as well. Does take down both Liberators. Drops to the natural, does not quite get on top of the Evo Chambers, but does take down the Spore. Trades well. Trades decently well against the Zerglings. Clem doing what he can, denying the 6th. Oh, that's a cancel. Some decent damage. It's not bad. Oh, even catching up some drones. Yeah, 3 drone kills, and we're going to get up to 5. 8. Okay. 8 drones going down. We're getting a little bit messy. But I am concerned here. Does at least deny the 6th base, but I feel like this is still very much on a knife's edge when it comes to Clem keeping Solo busy. The moment these drops go down, he will lose map control. And the Vipers are here. Clem pushing to the center. There is potential here. Pushing towards the center base. Not much creep. Solo out of position. And bleeding out Zerglings as well. A bit of a messy engage here by Solar. Trying to keep up on multiple fronts. And will clean up the main army. Catching at the Liberators and the tanks. But the drops are popping off. They're denying the upgrades. Okay. +2. +2 is denied. Nice catch. Drop into the main. Oh god. Oh no. Never mind. Doesn't quite make it to the main base. A second full medevac goes down. I'm still just worried about the breakout. Still worried, Patty. I will say that again, Clem is doing a great job when it comes to teching. Ghost production has begun, more Liberators. He is claiming his 5th expansion. Planetary is already morphed in. Much faster 5th base compared to Cure. Very nice. I mean, I will say that Clem, he's maintained his presence on the map a lot longer than Cure, which is the big difference. It's been a much longer presence. Before losing map control, which is now happening. It wasn't too long ago that we saw, tri-pronged drops and attacks all over the place. Now, Solo, he's gained map control. He can now secure his 6th expansion. At this point, he should double expand. Clem's still trying to be active. Still fighting for map control. Still fighting. Oof. But should lose all these medevacs. Yeah, 4 medevacs going to be going down. Again, Hive is done. Vipers have arrived. But at least the 6th base has been heavily delayed here for Solar. Heavy delays. And now it's Solar's turn. Right, now Solar, he's gained map control. He's now claiming his 6th bases. Now he can start to push in towards either the 4th base or the 5th. But at this stage of the game, I mean, hey, we have some really nice SimCity. And we have Mass Liberator Ghost. Clemmy's done what's difficult on this map, and that is to establish your 5 bases and build up your kind of end-tier army, your endgame army. Clem's there. Again, he achieved what Cure could not. As he will still lose the base. Yeah, Clem's out of position. The 5th base still goes down. As I mentioned, it's hard to defend these bases. The main army is solid, but the base still falls. Yeah, just out of position. 17 SCV kills. Ay. And you can just look at bases. They just go down here in the Old Republic. Just looks at him back. So let's poke in. And again, Solar, he can just back off, remax, rebuild, and do that again. The goal here is just keep breaking this base. Just keep breaking the base over and over again. Spire's on the way for the eventual Broodlord transition if we need it. He's already moving in that direction. Corruptors are also helping against the Liberators. Nidus into the main. Lings, they distracting the natural, not bad. Don't quite get into the mineral line. Going for the starboard instead. Yeah, main army towards the 5th, and this is what matters here. The 5th expansion, and Clem is out of position. He's distracted here at the natural. This planetary is going to fall. And Clem's economy is stifled. It's a stifled economy. As this time it's going to be an orbital, not a planetary. Lings, they killed the starport. Very nice, considering the switch into Liberators. True. Very nice pickoff. Solly collapses in once again, catching out more libs. Oh, looks like there was some latency going on. Hopefully it's okay. If both players were having some latency issues, then it might have been one of the casters or observer. But hopefully it's all good. Eyes back into the main. Solar collapsing in, lunging forward. Clem, he's unsieged. Yeah, he gets caught on siege. These Liberators are going to be going down. And Vipers, they move in. Oof. He takes down all the Liberators. Almost gets a CC as well. Doesn't quite commit in, but he can just back off and do that again. Nidus finishes. What's inside? GG. Yeah, GG gets called. Solar, he overwhelms, and Solar takes game number 2. GG. Whew. GG, well played. And again, this shows the brutality here of the Old Republic. We were praising Clem. Again, we're making comparisons to Clem versus Solar compared to Cure versus Solar, where this time Clem, he did an amazing job at maintaining his map presence for a much longer time, establishing his 4th base, establishing his 5th base, setting up his Sim City, and switching into Ghost Liberator. Despite that, the moment that Solar gained map control, bam, 5th base goes down. Like that just happened instantly. 5th base went down and never got up and running. But once again, we should emphasize that, and we try to emphasize that this is specific to this map. Like, this map is insanely difficult to defend that 5th and defend the 4th location as well. It's just very open, very open. The map is assisting and helping Solar there, and GG. GG, well played. Despite the strong mid game that Clem had, it was still not enough to secure a 5th. The moment you lose that map control, you will lose your bases. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're getting into game number 3. We're here to determine who will take a lead in the series as we load into White Rabbit. Let's go. Let us go. Loading into another larger map, but this one is a little bit different here. We'll get into it. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of White Rabbits, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg, the Blue Zerg player himself, tying up the series 1-1. It is a Solar. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player. We have the French Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Let's go. Let us go. As we're settling into game number 3. Vámonos. Now, coming into this, welcome to White Rabbit. White Rabbit is a large map of the map pool. That is true, and we do have these bases that are a little bit more open. Not as open as previously, but the big thing here on White Rabbit is how spread out the bases are. Your 3rd, your 4th, your 5th base are very spread out, and it can be quite difficult to keep up with aggressive army movements and aggressive army rotations. So it's more so about trying to keep up with your opponents and trying to be in position in time can be very difficult coming into the mid to late game. Typically, we do favor Zerg players getting into longer game states here if they're able to gain map control and stabilize with a solid economy, as we saw last game from Solar. Now, one of the differences, though, is that the natural base is more accessible. So even though in a longer game it can be difficult to defend your bases and difficult to be the defending player... Oh. Inu, por favor. Inu. He's our Korean caster, of course. Inu. But when it comes to getting into game number 3 here, when it comes to this map, because the the ramp coming into the natural is so wide, and specifically this area is so open, we have seen a lot of committed 2 and 3 base pushes just go directly through the center of the map into the natural and end the game. Like that does happen quite often, especially in TVP. It can happen here in TVC as well, because if you can take over the center of the map, then you take over the central ramp area as well, and you just cut that natural off from the 3rd base, the 4th base, wherever the expansion happens to be. Can be difficult to defend or to fight for this position. So we'll see. We'll see how Clem will approach this, as we often just veto White Rabbits. But it's the best of 5, so less vetoes. Less vetoes. We get to experience the map a little bit more. Let's go. As Reaper does poke in, pulls away, 3rd base is being taken, standard opener here by Solar, he does pull out of gas, just Hatchcats pull into a 3rd base out of Solar, most standard opener we've seen so far this series. Likewise, Clem going for his 3rd TC before Starport. So just calming down, settling in. And from here we'll keep an eye on our players. See how we follow up. Oh, we were taking a lot of hits, taking a lot of damage. Gonna be zoned away. We have 8 more Lings in production. That's a lot of Zerglings on the way early on. The goal here from Solar should be to bypass the Reaper, get across the map, and hit that mineral line. It's a bit of a cheeky move here from Solar. It's a big investment, but it can pay off. When it works, it works. As we see, the Lings, they bypass the Reaper. They head towards the right-hand side. They avoid the Reaper on the left. I say that so far, distracted by the Reaper, actually. Here they are distracted. Hellions are being active. And they encounter the Zerglings. Oof. Oh no, who reacts first? Yeah, late reaction by Clem. Late reaction. And one of the Hellions may just get caught out. Oh, the Jukes? Very nice. It does turn back around. The Hellions, they make it back home, and Clem is ready back at home. He's ready with his Hellions. He will still lose 1 Hellion, though. At least he should. Never mind. Okay. Yes, that Clem saves the Hellion. Does reinforce. Zergling does get a free scotch into the main base. Does confirm the 1-1-1. Does confirm the Cloak Banshee on the way. So Solar, he's aware of the Banshees. He's aware of the Cloak. Hellions being active through the center. And Solar, he should be ready. Behind this, going Lair first. So once again, Lair first out of Solar. Last game was Lair into Baneliness, into Link Bane, into Delayed Evo Chambers, into Link Bane Hydra. Once again, later reaction by Clem. He was distracted on the right-hand side. So losing 1 Hellion. Stim is on the way. And these Hellions, it's all about just 9 creep. We don't really expect them to bust into a mineral line. It can happen, but it shouldn't happen. Solar, he's ready for it. And this time is going double Evo Chamber. Remember, last game it was Baneliness first. This time, Evo Chambers first. So a little bit greedier this time out of Solar into faster upgrades. It does mean the Baneling speed is going to be delayed, but there's no real threat of like a commitment into Hellbats like last game. As last game was a 2-rank Reaper opener, if you recall. So the openers are different. The response also different as well. Banshee does get eyes on the would-be 4th expansion. There is detection. Okay, the detection is available. Nice control. Queen pulls away. And Solar's keeping up. Oh, that is not melee, by the way. +1 range. We're going into a Ling Hydra heavy composition, delayed Baneling Nest. If you recall, we did see this against Kira, and we did speak briefly on it as we force a cancel. Very nice cancellation out of Clem. So running it back, this is a style that Solar has been popularizing himself, and he's been very fond of, is delaying Banelings and going into a heavy Hydra composition instead. It is a little bit more larva efficient. It allows you to keep up with drop play as you have a bunch of anti-air very early on. The downside, of course, is that your banelings are delayed, and you can be vulnerable against a bio-heavy like move out early on. Just because baneling nest is delayed and baneling speed is delayed as well. So there's a bit of a give and take here. Ooh, as we do see Clem is committing to his push. Not just drop play, but tanks as well. So we have our 7-minute push here from Clem. It's going to be a tough hold here for Solar, not going to lie. Typically, the best way to deal with this is with Ling surrounds and a Ling flank, but we'll see if there's going to be enough with Ling Hydra. Tanks stay set up on the high ground. Marine trying to bait the army within range. Trying to. Lings are coming from behind. Hellions are in position. Hellbats have yet to morph in. Nice kiting. Yeah, nice kiting so far. Lings are dealt with. Meanwhile, Marines, they commit to the fight. They break through the Hydras. Oh, heavy losses for Solo, losing every single Hydra list. We spoke about it without Banelings. It's a tough hold. It's a tough hold here at 7 minutes. Hellbats they morph in. Tanks are repositioning, getting within range. Oh, doesn't commit though. There's an opportunity. There was an opportunity here. But Clem, he retreats. He doesn't take the risk. It was a good fight. It was a very good trade here for Clem, and he takes his win and he backs off. Doesn't risk anything further. If he was rallying across, I think he could have done it. But he was keeping his reinforcements at home just in case it was a counterattack. And now here come the reinforcements. Now here comes the main push. Bailing speed is not going to be a factor. It's not even halfway done. So will not factor in. Again, this is the risk here of going into Ling Hydra. You are vulnerable. Banshees, they hit the 4th base. 6 drones going down. Queens as well. Clem taking his time moving forward. He's restricting the creep quite a bit, rotating once again. I mean, he kills 9 drones. Like, he's fine. It's perfectly fine. But this tells me the Baneling speed will finish. Baneling speed will factor into the fight. So Clem rotates over, denying more creep. Baneling speed finishing up in 5 seconds. And there is an opportunity for Solar. He's going for it. Yeah, he does go for the dive. There's still creep. It has not receded. Oof. And Mind Shells, they force a bit of friendly fire. Banelings, they roll in, but here come the rest of the reinforcements here. There are not enough Banelings. Yeah, not enough Banelings. Hydras are exposed. Marines, they can stim in. And do we break the Hydras? Barely not. Yeah, not enough bio. As you mentioned, Clem, you got caught on creep here. It's a delayed rotation. Solo does hold. And Clem has to get the hell out of here. Does pull away. Double jump into the main base. Clemmy's losing momentum. Oh, do we catch a medevac? Not quite. Oh, where are we going? Clemmy does distract Solar. He still maintains his economy. 4 bases fully operational. 5th CC is on the way, and Clemmy's pushing. He's pushing on the right-hand side. Now, bearing in mind that creep here has not been respared. There are 0 active tumors. No active tumors here, so a much easier position for Clem to move into. Oh, 1 medevac does go down. And he runs into the army. Okay, at least I roll in. Clem was a bit of a late reaction. Nice mine shots. And nice mine connections, but there's still 4 Banelings down to 0. God, the target firing. That was crazy. A crazy target firing. Clem still forced to pick up though. Forced to pull away. Clemmy should be able to defend though. He has plenty to work with. Solo, he has to play it safe. Let's back off, has to calm down. Both armies are maxing out. And Solo's still stuck with the Lingbane Hydra composition. We have a couple of Infestors on the way. We have the Hive that's on the way as well. Lurker Den is done, but still no Lurker upgrades. Solo, he hasn't fully stabilized yet. He's getting there, though. He's getting there. Oof. Once again, dragging mines into the army. Clem pushing on the right-hand side. Has to be careful. There's plenty of Link Bane. Solo trying to bait the mine shots. Baits out one. Baits out one shot. And the other as well. Clem does find some damage getting into the expansion, but he should not get a kill. Doesn't get the kill. Ooh, medevac is going to go down within range. Solar cleans up. I will say that just like last game though, this is all just distracting Solar. Distracting Solar, keeping him busy. Clem claiming a 6th expansion. Sorry, a 5th. 5th base is getting up. Limited production has begun. Ghost as well. Clem is building up a better army. And he's not had to be defensive. We had one move out. Now here comes the 2nd attack here from Solar. Oof, brutal mine shots. Yeah, the mine shots are brutal. Fungal does graze the army. Clemmy defends. He defends back at home. Very nice target firing. Cashing up more Hydras. Solar bleeding out a lot of units here. These are expensive losses for Solar. Expensive, pappy. Throwing away Hydralisks. Throwing away Banelings. Now 7 lurkers on the way. But again, Solar, he hasn't stabilized yet. And Clemmy wants the expansion. He gets it. He gets the hatchery. 5th base goes down. Again, so far, Clem just doing a great job when it comes to just keeping up that pressure, keeping up the momentum. As you mentioned, so far this game, there's been 2 moments where Solo got across the map. Just only 2 moments. Solo's just been stuck at home. He's been stuck at home. There are now a couple of Vipers. Solo, he should soon break out. Soon. That's nice, they pop off. Catch one of the lurkers. They get 1, they get 2. Just the one so far. Oof. Yeah, the mine shots are brutal. It's a meat grinder. Solo, he cannot push into this. He's trying. Another snipe, another lurker. Nice CP. 1 ghost gets abducted. Just the one. Solo pushing forward. There aren't many snipes left. But Liberation has arrived. And you see Liberation pushing forward the Vipers without abductions. What can we do? Where's the scan? Where's the scout gun? Okay, no scan yet. Solo desperate. He's going for a counterattack. Going for 2 counterattacks. Does get in. Hey, he does distract. Okay. The 3rd counterattack here from Solar. Distracting Clem for a moment. Clem, he just evacuates, gives up on the base, so he wants to keep pushing. He wants to keep going, and he will get the expansion. Likewise, getting on top of the lurkers as well. Back at home, Clem, he defends. Shuts down the Banelings. And now Clem turns around. He turns back around. Cleans up the army, still maintains his position. We have how many lurkers so far? 6, only 6 lurkers. And oh no, they were getting caught out. Oh, good. Not like this. He had 6. Down to 2. Down to 2 lurkers left. Heavy. Down to 1. 1 lurker remaining. Soon to be down to 0. Brutal losses there for Solo. That was the backbone of his army. It was supposed to be. But he runs into the main army. Will lose every single lurker. Ay, ay, ay. Solar. I mean, at least he still has the spellcasters. He has 2 Vipers and 2 Infestors on the way. But Solar, he has no bank. What's crazy here is just typically the Zerg player has a higher base count, a better economy, and a larger bank behind it. But look at the resources here. Clem, he's got a 4k, 2k bank. Clem has been in control this entire game. As I mentioned, there were only 3 moments where Solo was able to threaten bases, and he barely achieved any damage. And Solar's just falling apart. He's falling apart, just rallying into the army. Solar, he has been broken. Clem's still moving in. Looking down base after base. He's just been hyper efficient. And Solar just couldn't get any breathing room this game. Not like this. Solar can't even max out. Cannot max. From here, Solar commits into a base that's only half saturated. Let's get a couple of SCVs. Brutal mine shots. Fungal coming in. Catching Marauders. But remember, this is only harassing army here for Clem. The main army is coming. And Clem, he responds. He rotates. It's all or nothing for Solar. He commits. This is it. This is it, Bappy. 11 SCVs. And the reason why Solar's committing as hard as he is because he's all in. Right? It's either he kills Clem now or he dies trying. Nice Fungal, very. Oh my god, the Fungals are crazy. He just tanks the Fungal to the face. GG gets called. Clem will take a 2-1 lead in the series. GG. Ay, ay, ay. We're the best Fungals imaginable, but again, there was just no follow-up. There was no meat to the army for Solar, so he landed the Fungals, but he could not connect. Clem just tanks the Fungals anyway. Takes it to the face. GG. GG, well played. With that, Clem does take a 2-1 lead, and now we're loading into Mothership. And again, this is what we wanted, or what Clem wanted out of the Old Republic as well, to just be hyper aggressive and never allow Solar to move out across the map. Eventually, Solar stabilized on the Old Republic. Never happened here on White Rabbit. Solar, he was never able to stabilize, never able to secure his position, never able to force Clem back, never able to retake map control. With that, GG. GG, well played, and now we're going to be loading into game number 4. And spawning in the bottom side of Mothership, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, down in the series. Can he fight back and force the ace match? It is Solar. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Mothership, we have the French Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Let's go. Let us go. Am I explaining why Clem likes showers? It's true, he does take them to the face. But he's fine, Babby. He still breaks through. Crazy. What's going on? Solar going for a very early gas geyser. Gas pool opener at a Solar hyper aggression. Okay. You have my attention. You have my attention. This can lead into a Link Flood early on. It can lead into a Vein Bust. It can lead into a Roach Rush. Regardless, we have hyper aggression out of Solar blindly here on Mothership. Remember, this is a 3-player spawn map. We have some RNG here. There's a chance that Clem does not find Solar. You can see here the rally. Yeah, you can see the rally here. So Clem, he's rallying towards top right with the Reaper. And does he SCV scout? Does he skip the Worker Scout? Okay, where are we going? Worker does move out across the map. Pool is done. Gas is mining. And Clem, he's scouting top right. He does scout top right, so delayed scout here from Clem when it comes to the build of choice, when it comes to how late the expansion is. Link speed is on the way, and this is what's important. Doesn't pull out. Solar, he does not pull out, so we have 3 workers mining gas, so this is looking more and more like a Vein Bust. Here we go. So we're getting up to 50 gas. Do we go for a Roach one instead? Eyes are on Solar. What's it going to be? So we have the resources for it. For now, will we go for the dive? Oh, no, he doesn't. Yeah, the scout is denied. Clemmy sees nothing. He sees nothing, Bappy. And it's going to be the Baneling Nest. It has to be. Wait, Solar's droning? Wait, what? Solar, he's droning up somewhat. Link speed is finishing. Was he just hoping it was going to be 2x Reaper? Yeah. Ay, ay, ay. So what we're seeing here, okay, no, we're still doing this. 3-minute lair. Okay. 3-minute lair, early link speed. Now, early link speed is a massive tell. Link speed should not be finishing up this early. So now Clem knows. Now Clem knows it was early gas. So he has some information. He does not see what's happening behind this. I thought it was going to be for a Bane bus, but it is going to be for a very fast lair into Overlord speed. Okay, we're going for a Ling Queen drop load all in. Dark, is that you? Like, Dark, he would mix this build in every now and then back in the day when he was still active, of course. But this is a very unique build that, again, I don't see from players outside of Dark. Okay, Solar, okay. Let's go. I was leaning towards like 2-base Muta or maybe like a 2-base Ling Queen Nidus all in, but no, it's going to be a 2-base Ling Queen drop lord all in instead. Let's go. For the tech creation, you need the lair to morph in drop lords. So we need that lair for that tech. Drop lords they have begun, and it's all or nothing for Solar. And so far, Clem has no idea. Remember, Clem, the only sign that Clem has is link speed. That's all he knows. And that's not enough. Not enough to smell out this build specifically. Clem is denied. Clem, he does check for a third base. Clem, he went 3cc. Oof, he went 3cc as well. Clem, he checks and he does it. He knows. Yeah, Clem, he spots a drop lord. He now knows. Back at home, we need bunkers. There we go. He evacuates the natural. 2 bunkers in the main base. Nice scout, nice reaction. But is this too late? Is this too late? As Yolan is coming, Clem, he's prepared to just abandon the natural. He's ready. Bunkers are halfway done. They're halfway complete. Lings, they push forward. Hellions are ready. Wall is raised. It does raise the wall, and the bunkers are going to finish in time. Wow. Joblers are being focused. We dive into the bunkers. Boys are being pulled as well. Nice position with the Hellions, and Clem is holding. Clem is holding. GG gets called. The all-in fails, and Clem will claim the series 3-1, becoming the Kung Fu Cup number 9 champion. GG. Whew. GG, well played. I appreciate the build here from Solar. I do appreciate it, but it is heavily reliant on not being scouted, and it is crucial that Clem didn't see the lair. He didn't see the Ling Flood. He didn't see the Queens, but he did see the Dropper Lords. He saw the Dropper Lords, so he had precious seconds to react in time. He threw down his 2 bunkers in the main base. I'm sure, hotkeyed his SCVs to abandon the natural to pull back into the main, and of course the bunkers did finish in time. They finished up just as the Dropper Lords got into the main base. So just in time they finished. The Hellions were able to get behind the SCVs. GG, well played. So again, a very cheeky build here by Solar, but heavily reliant on lack of scouting. And he almost got away with it. True, he almost got away with it, but the drop lords were seen. They were seen in the end. GG, well played. Congratulations. Congratulations to Clem for claiming the series. And again, shout out to Solar for whipping out an old school Dark build. Like, I'll be honest, I haven't seen a Ling Queen drop lord all-in ZVT since Dark. I don't think. Like, we cast a lot of StarCraft here on the channel. I'm trying to think. But yeah, I believe I have seen, either Rogue or Shin do this build before, but it would have been even longer ago though. Like maybe like 2 years ago or something. So GG, well played. With that, congratulations to Clem. Shout out to Solar for, again, diversifying a little bit here and for posing a threat. Did take a map, of course, on the Old Republic. But again, like, that's like the Zerg map in ZVT. And that's where you can be at your strongest, and that's where Solar was at his best. Outside of that, though, Clem was looking, even in the Old Republic, to be fair, Clem was looking very impressive. Like, I was very, very surprised and very impressed by Clem's play to be able to maintain map control as long as he did. Still wasn't enough, but then he was able to even showcase more of that on White Rabbit. Like, that was an insane game from Clem on White Rabbit. GG. With that, congratulations. With that, we are going to be wrapping up for the evening. Here, so I hope you guys had a great time. Quickly switching our scenes over, let's catch up on our schedule. So again, this is the catch-up week here. We just caught up with Kung Fu Cup number 9. This morning and last night we had the Wardy TV Monday broadcast, and tomorrow morning we have some more Wardy TV Monday, and tomorrow evening we have StarCraft Evolution League, the Masters show match as well. I think that's between, is that Solar and Classic, or is that Shin and Classic? Hold on, let me just double check. That is Solo versus Classic. There we go. So Solo versus Classic, we're going to be featuring them in a best of 7 later on tomorrow evening. That'll be in just under 24 hours time. Otherwise, what is Monday in around 12 hours time on this channel. That's going to be tomorrow. Again, we're catching up with some otherwise backlog of replay casts. Meanwhile, Sunday, that's going to be a live cast of GSL. For those who don't know, we have been live casting GSL and GSL CK the entire year, but we don't live cast on Twitch, we live cast on Soup. We are not allowed to live cast on other platforms, so we do have live coverage over on Soup, and the VOD is rebroadcasted 48 hours later on Twitch and YouTube. So typically the VOD is delayed a little bit. That is a prerequisite if you want to cast it live over on Soup, so it has to be delayed. But otherwise, if you want to tune into us covering GSL, you can do so via Soup. Soup. For those that don't know, Soup is basically Afrika TV. Afrika TV did rebrand. It's an alternate competitor to Twitch over in Korea, as Twitch does not support Korean streamers. True. Does not support. So you can check us out on Soup. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for the support. Again, we'll see you guys in 12 hours for What to Be Monday, or we'll see you guys in 24 hours for some StarCraft Evolution League. Otherwise, when it comes to next week's schedule here, we still have some OSC Elite. We have Amanthus that was rescheduled to Tuesday, true, and I want to try to cast that a little bit earlier than normal as well. We have Pegastar Cup, KungFu Cup as well. We have more StarCraft Evolution League, and again, we should be able to catch up with most of our backlog coming into the end of June, coming into eventually Home Story Cup and Maestros of the Game. The goal is to catch up with all the backlog and then be able to jump into Home Story Cup and Maestros fresh. That's the hope, at least. Otherwise, take care. Otherwise, thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. Wish you all the best. I know that later on tonight, I believe we have the Uwu Thermal 2v2 League, the 2v2 circuit. That is later on this evening. I'm going to be working on that behind the scenes. For those who don't know, the reason why we don't cast the Thermal 2v2 circuit is because I'm one of the admins. I do help run the event behind the scenes alongside Kuro, making sure that everything runs as smoothly as possible and nothing catches fire. Does mean, though, that unfortunately we aren't able to cast it, which is okay. It's a nice change of pace. Shout out to Mark, shout out to you Thermal for hosting the events and for bringing 2v2 to the forefront of the pro player scene, for sure. And that's going to be over the next 3 days. Uwu Thermal circuit. Otherwise, thanks for watching. If you want to support us, you can do so by following us. You can follow us on YouTube. We upload on YouTube on a daily basis. We stream on YouTube as well. You can check out our other socials, of course: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Discord, Blue Sky, Mastodon, all things CranKy Ducklings. And you can also check us out over on Patreon if you wish. Our Patreon does fund our tournaments on a regular basis, like the Tunic Cup. You can see there on Tuesday we had Sparkling Tunic Cup on the PTR. We have Duckling Open on the PTR, MSO on the PTR. It's all on the PTR. And all funded via Patreon. So thank you so much to all our patrons. Thank you. Otherwise, I'm gonna head off, get some food, and edit VODs. I got a lot of VODs to edit from this week's coverage. So we'll see you next time. Until then, thanks for watching. Hasta luego. I think we're basically making sure the tournament runs smoothly. See, papi, see you. See you tomorrow on Monday. Wait a second. True. Every day is Monday. Thank you, Sneaky Snake. Thank you. But we'll see you guys next time. Until then, ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego. See you next time.